I need to get another weapon. I said I need to get another weapon. We gotta go to those. Each map that has a canister, or each boss map that has a canister, and go there.
To see which one?
Yeah, see which one I like, yeah.
Gotcha.
Because you already got your hammer and your shield, I'm just kind of just going with what drops. I don't really have a, and I've seen no videos on any new weapons that come from the maps. So I got to see if they have a canister there or not.
From the New World
Yeah,
section?
newer sections, yeah. Because I don't know what Jester brings. Don't know what the Aqua map has.
Right.
And as for your spot, we already know you already get the hammer, so I don't know what else drops there, but the hammer's guaranteed.
Alright. Your audio? At least mine is on this time.
Yeah, mine's on. Hold up. That's what I meant to do.
I don't have it on share though.
I don't either.
So here with
1 second.
that guy. Zone the okay, I mess his name up all the time because he changed it. I told him not to change it. Drives me crazy. But anyway, my cohort. As we grind clusters, we get okay, so here's the goal. Here's the path. These two were this is the focus.
No,
Focus is
so.
really here, not here. The focus is here, but the focus we're gonna get here. The focus is here. Fun fact, cool things, Midas Trap, Golden Knife, Anti-Air Cannon. None of them need a max, defense rate to cap them out. None of them need a max defense rate to cap them out. As you can see, 30%, also 30%. I will get them capped out for the sake of uniformity and content across the board. But so far the largest plus and the beauty of the Templar for me is that I don't have to have it at its max value to give me its max value. So that's cool. While I, farm up. Because as we can see, they're already in the higher chaoses, so obviously these have nothing to do with them anymore. It's, they're on the other side. Of course, I can devolve them to level them, but we're here, so we're gonna press the button on being here. But yeah, these are the focuses. I've long-standing always wanted to do just straight towers, and that's just never been a thing. Then of course now we have 3 possible powerhouse towers. Well, 2 are already known, obviously, to most of the community. That's and they are in the form of these 2. So um, the higher I get this here, the completion of this will be anti-heal, melee, and range. Yeah, I prefer it that way. I could go with chaos, but when you're using chest Um, Blockades. I could put it on the reflect beam, but um, I got to get the reflect beam there. I mean, if I go defense rate on the reflect beam, then of course that would take care of the rate at which it's just, this just feels better for me. I know that others will, may feel different, and it's like, oh, you could put something else there to get more value out of it. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
it just I, I like I like it here. Um, and then of course a lot of people have been so a lot of people have been um, working on this one as well, the Wolf Commander. But this one, excuse me, um, is like they come behind the guard. The guard is literally like the Golden Knight. That's absolute Golden Knight. Um, that's focus one, focus two, focus three, and focus four. Um, five, because I do need to get like tenacity and all that other stuff on my reflect beam. So that's the goal. But we are here farming the clusters to do just that. So, uh, and this is a turtle build where this the guards and the trees, the guards and the trees, the guards guard the trees do the stuff, and my cohort is AFK.
And I was actually looking at
All right.
the setup.
So like to play with it like this. So many trees. Not sure where how I found myself here, but here I am. Once I get everything stronger, I'll also start making other changes, other experiments that I want to play with. Everything's okay? You sure? Okay. You sure? Making sure one of my other cohorts good, and then good spirit. Although this doesn't actually matter. It actually moves them where that actually moves the guard up further to be 1,000% honest, and probably should be 1,000% honest. Now that I know that I can do what I can do, bruh. Is that crooked? The other two aren't straight. I'm pretty sure they aren't straight.
No, that's straight.
This one, let's add to whatever. Just do it. Just do it. Okay, so. So that's why I said because of the coverage of being able to put the reflections right there and right there, and absolutely covering the entire board, I can take my guards and move them, say, about right here, just right in front of this last tier, and place them like right here. That way, if something like the frost comes down, it's not so close to the crystal, even though we normally take the frost out before that. I like their bands. This is my problem. To getting them all close like that, I fell in love with the bands. Like, I mean, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Like, by the time they get here, they're getting hit 12 ways from Sunday. I mean, like, that's just fun. And so that became a thing. But they will fall to anything that opposes them. And that's why the guards are here. And I'm working on a situation where I can actually have the guards set up. I played with it before where I had them sitting like on the sides here, and then it's just like bam, 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 bam. Oh, it's absolutely, it's just, but again, still a work in progress. I've also done it with the wolves as well, the wolf commanders. Um, but like I have stated before, little known fact, um, 267 attack damage, 260, I said 67, wow, 261 attack damage, but that's at the level that it's at right now. Like I said, that's a chaos thing. This is a chaos 11, and that's 248. Now, yes, you have to add the ranged 8, which, excuse me, for whatever reason, isn't actually 80. It's actually more like, uh, well, now it's 110. It's not gonna shoot. It's not gonna do 110. It's gonna do like 220, and I'm not 100% sure what that is. And I mean that's a non-crit, but it says 110, and for whatever reason, it's doing 220. Actually, no. It could be no. It wasn't the diverse because when I was testing it in the um, tavern, it was doing much of the same. But nonetheless, so obviously souped up, we got 343, 110. But if I was to match it, hold on, let me see. Is it? Yeah, if I was to put like say this on, because as you can see it's 61 to 80. So if I was to switch them out and then take a look at him, yeah, so he's 377 right now versus we'll say 453. We got the ranged and the melee, so 453 versus the 377. They're actually, I clearly, the wolf wins the day at 50 DU. He should, but that's an extremely close second to the wolf commander at 30 DU. Now, of course, yes, he has the range, but the wolf commander, even though he gets, they really don't match up until they're within this range of each other, because the wolf commander only has about 700 units um, to the guardian's 800 units. Um, and if you ever want to test it, it's easy. You just grab the mercenary and the mercenary's guard, and you put the mercenary and the wolf commander commander side by side, and by the time the mercenaries, um, royal guard can hit enemies, that's when you'll see that the physical attack from the wolf is also active. So it's 700 units. Because let's do this one. Actually, I'll focus it down further, but it's right here. And I said these middle. Uh, I was like, what am I missing? The traps. And then I just threw the. Broke.
Oh,
Where are you? Maybe flying around here somewhere.
I dropped the gems.
Bruh. They fell like all over the place.
I didn't think they was gonna scatter like that. I didn't think they was gonna scatter.
Somebody not trying to work with me here, sir. Alright. Wait, something's. Oh, never mind. Nothing's off. I didn't do this. To boost the radius. There we go. Yeah. I think a coin fell in the abyss somewhere, but anyway. And this is a complete piece. And this is what we look like. I normally focus the trees there, there, and there because I'm normally standing over here and keeping the watchful eye. With all of the damage reduction, uh, they really don't stand a chance in terms of combat. Uh, Another reason that I put the anti-heal there is because, again, my relic is, I mean, not relic, a reflect beam isn't where it should be. So as soon as the cyborgs come in and they do their thing, that's gonna go down, and yeah. So it compensates for that. It may change later, but probably not. I'm actually um, quite happy, quite content with the whole thing. The trees do what they do, and the guards do what they do. It is, like I said, a turtle defensive thing. So, of course, like I said, the trees aren't something that's new to the concept of, the trees actually, like I said, in abundance do more than enough damage. Uh, but in terms of blocking for them, that frontline blocker, prior to, you could definitely say the training dummy, and you go training dummy, automation, auto repair, and bada boom. But the for me, it's the guards. So, and then they should be able to just float just the guards to the point where I don't leveling up the trees do a ton. And so, if that a necessity, definitely level the trees. They do a ton. They go from what right now should be 220,000 damage at their current level to a 4-star, max 4-star, um, 420 or so. So, almost double at max rank. But for me, it's more, the trees are doing their thing, um, as per what they should be doing. My biggest thing in focus are the Midas traps and the guards. Now, I'm doing this right now while my lazy cohort gets stronger. But once my cohort gets to where they need to get to, I will only be responsible for that guard and those traps, and they'll be the damage dealer, and I'll be the tank. So, playing it kind of a traditional role base, um, tank, DPS, blah blah blah. Look at that guard. Of course, as you can see, I'm up relatively high and still getting the buff from the trees. Uh, Heck, you can see him still getting the buff from the trees, and he's much higher than I am. So that's a crazy amount of height that they provide. I'm just gonna level up the guards. And this is us again doing Chaos 10s in preparation for Chaos 11s. just getting my stuff together now. And the goal is to have this same setup, but in its perfect form, and do Chaos 11. Will it work? Don't know, but I'm excited to try. And once I have everything leveled and where I want it to be, I'm probably going to experiment with 3 guards, one here, one here, and of course one here. I will have maybe 2 trees behind them for the inside here. Um, and then, the same all the way around. And then from the bottom of the stairs leading all the way up will be the Midas traps. And if I can if I can sneak it in, it'll probably be a Midas trap, sand trap. So it'll be basically the 4 Midas traps, and then right in the center will be the sand trap going down. So it'll be, probably one, two, three, four, and then just like I said, just coming up the stairs. So it'll be a stairway of mayhem and chaos, and then you'll be met by 3 guards and 2 trees to apply said anti. Oh, this guy. The only person that can actually hit the damn guard because they actually shoot a missile, not a bomb. So they, and annoyingly and intelligently enough, fire over the buffeted. I mean the reflecting. Oh shoot! Somebody's trapped behind the wall.
No, I was just
Someone
looking at my
leaves.
inventory. Servos.
That's pretty high up to still get the buff. Oh, the reason I didn't buff him is because aside from that one pain in the keister, as soon as they walk up to him, he exacts hot Saki justice and gets all of his health back. So yeah, that's a non-topic. The goal is also to put range on their servos so that I can take one of the ranges off and replace that with automation so that they'll heal up, and or uh, sharpen spike so that they'll aid in stunning the lane for CC. Who doesn't love CC? So we figure I'll probably be sharpen spike for the stun, and then um, yeah, it'll be sharpen spike for the sun, and then that way it'll activate somewhere around. Actually, no, because the ones that are right here are the ones that are reaching hot drop down. That's so this is the activation for those two. That third is but yeah, no, that third I believe might be coming from there. But yeah, that's these two. So um oh no, he started buffing them. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so two of them, boom, boom. So from the start of the lane will be the anti-heal. I'll have a road of traps leading up to the three guards. Be a guard here, of course the guard in the middle, and then uh, that will be my the play. Hello, Pimsqueak. Like I said, a lot of like, oh, this is chaos tank. Look here. Once I get my stuff to Chaos 11, then that's where I'll be testing it out. Skeletons running away.
Can't take the heat.
Right now I only have a 70%, so you'll see the health go down on him, and then at 60 million, it'll start to, there it is, back and forth for about 5 seconds to, and then he loses his buff and continues to get shredded. because the performance with the wrong servo, I mean with the wrong medallion on. Forgot to change it back. It's about 2 million less because of course it's still ranked. It's not ranked, but right now he's at like 2.08 in attack speed.
It's not bad. Like you said, getting that. Oh yeah, you already got the attack speed on, so never mind. Yeah, so you already got the attack speed server on your knights.
So let's flip in the correct. See, 2 million less damage, but we've got the raise the harden, which harden makes up for it, and then of course accumulator, so the damage happens a lot faster. And once we work up enough clusters to get these, like the guard, to uh chaos, max chaos 11, then yeah, I'm gonna try some of this foolishness. Uh, you can't see me using a gaming code.
I was checking if everything was fine with the stream.
Hmm.
I was checking if everything was fine with the stream.
Hmm. If I put it too close, then I won't. It won't allow me to do the. So I try to get them as centered as possible. But like I said, with that being said, I can extend him out to the tail end. You still don't want them to be able to go around these big bodies, but I can extend it out a little so that it's farther away. Okay, the middle of the lane. Something like
Yep, yep.
Oh shoot. Okay. I can actually put this one slightly further forward. Even beyond the words not straight, will not only sit here for 30 years and for absolute straightness, which I'm dipping okay. And then I didn't even level the guards. Much faster in their attacks. And I do believe that that's possibly because of the accumulator and the explosive shield guard, but they're really not doing, I don't believe, that much damage. And then of course the explosive radius. Okay. Uh, where it explodes after 5 seconds. Is that what we're having here with the explosive? Because like for the first time in ever, I actually saw the explosion.
Mm.
Actually paying attention to it, it's clear but existent.
So the thing with the explosion is,
But it is relatively like close. But then again,
it's
I
still a
can only
35.
play
Yeah,
with
it's still
viewers.
a 35% chance. So
The guard isn't going anywhere. And then of course I just favor the trees because um, say you took these 4 trees here and you max them out, they give it's a high probability, not 100%, but a high probability that a kamikaze that comes through and hits the tree won't actually hit the crystal. So, and so I like to use it in that fashion. So thing is, you was giving me. I was like, I'm almost out, and then I saw. So I was like, wait, where the? Oh,
yeah,
ew.
Yeah, because I didn't have enough to upgrade anything else. Well, I did, but I figured I'd give it to you. I upgraded what
Because she has a skin in this defender pass, I might give the defender pass just because I would like not to spend a lot of money,
yeah, same.
but Pimp Squeak actually had a really good inquiry as to what the alt look of, because that's something that they don't show. They don't show her alt look. They show what her outfit looks like in her main form across the board, but not the alt. So now getting the tenacity together is really important on that note because without that, that tornado would have pushed through and hit all the way to the crystal. So yeah, I might have to bump what after the guard and the trap. mm, I may bump the getting a well. I mean, all I really need is a 100% tenacity. I may focus on trying to get that tenacity prior to finishing something else out, just in case. But Midas Trap, Gold Knight, Tree, Relic. And of course, you get out of Buff Beam because the Buff Beam at max um, has a 20% damage reduction. So that plus Harden plus Juggernaut without diminished return is 70%. With diminished return, don't know because never actually looked into that deeply. Um, but I'm pretty sure there's a diminished return. But if there is not, then it's 70%. So that further bolsters the defensiveness of the guard. I can go two ways with the guard. I can go with the. There's also I have to get it gilded, of course, but it is in here somewhere. Ah, enhanced armor. Enhanced armor is also really good. Um, really good. But so I can swap that out for the explosive shield. Um, Another concept that I was playing with is actually the sharpened spikes. Um, it's got a guaranteed stun for 0.75 seconds. Great, amazing, especially with a 1.25 second attack speed, which means there's only a 0.5 second window of non-stun. Hence the reason why, like I said, if I put three down and they're just boom, 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 it should be a that plus the Midas between a 0.75 Golding and across four, and then a 0.75 stun across three. We should be looking at a serious stun line. Um, in which I could play with the concept of control servo. We're you know we're that might be on a different hold on. We're playing with the concept. We're playing with the concept. Um, I don't intend on helping anywhere. Let's see. What else was the concept? What else were we talking about? What else was going on? What else was going to happen? Um, ah, so sharpen spike. You figure this is a guaranteed 0.75 second every time you attack. But adding in the extra chance for a 3 second stun is rather heavy because you got a guaranteed 0.75 and then the possibility of extending that 0.75 to 3 seconds while you're constantly still hitting. I mean, like I said, it's one of those 0.75 second stuns with the chance to get a much longer stun. Hmm, the Far Cry different from no CC at all and then a possible CC. So it's a work in progress. It's a thought. It's a thought process. It's a concept. It might be overkill me doing too much, but um then again, it's me knows. Okay, I'm not attacking the anybody but this guy because you're a pain in the keister. Oh shoot, probably take out these.
Hold on.
You guys, I'm actually already. Yep. So the starting phases. I do have a
Okay.
question for myself. Just how short do I shorten this lane? If I go automation, I'm gonna stay. It's probably gonna be about right here, maybe shorter, which is gonna wave. But
What?
if I go
Music.
automation
Ah.
instead,
Yes. How are you?
yikes! It pulled it all
Actually,
the
let me
way
pull
back.
it on my phone.
Mm,
Read my message. Yes. Yes, I am.
mm.
I just
How much farther
I
do I have?
wanted to
Because I
make
believe I'm
sure
at
that
garbage,
my mic and everything
but I
was
do want to
fine.
see what this compounded. Almost a jump scare skeleton, bruh. Oh, he running. He's running.
No, because last time somebody
More pressure on the
um,
guards.
came in, it was like my mic
I mean,
was
yes, it is a
on the
tighter knit,
fritz,
but
so
it also is
I'm not
using a lot
talking
of
as
DPS,
much
putting more
and
pressure on the guards. Let's see what we got
making
here
sure that
as
my
trigger
volume
point, because I still
on
don't
my mic
plan
is
on
low enough to where it's
waiting
not
for
picking up
assisting if I
any
don't have
audio
to.
from the background. It, I just need to get a new mic. Um, but I'm starting off. I need to just um,
And again, yes, this is only Chaos 10. He is going to be an absolute pain in the
yes, I
butt.
am on PlayStation.
Actually, okay, let me not say it like that. This is only Chaos 10. Look, yeah, it's Chaos 10, but guard, lane. You actually killed me?
Yeah,
Good job.
I made sure to bump up the quality on my PlayStation.
He's not going nowhere. He's just a bomb.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to tweak. Hmm.
That's another. See,
Actually, I do
they're
play
like
any
right
other games.
outside, just
Right
standing
now,
here lobbing bombs.
I
So
am
yeah, we definitely want the
playing Warframe, between Warframe and Dungeon Defenders. I haven't
steroids.
played Warframe in a minute,
Excellent with the automation
but I
because,
will coming this
like
coming
I said,
August
it's
with their new Nightwave. I don't know if you play Warframe or not, so
helpful
I don't know if you know
in
about it.
terms of the
But
tree's
yeah, Warframe.
longevity,
What else?
blah blah blah.
That's pretty much it. Until I get my
Oh, come on,
PC, which I'm playing, we playing a lot more other games on Steam, which would be stuff like I don't know if you heard of a game called Wafu Dofus. I
legit.
definitely want
I
to stream
kind of want to get a
those.
battle
I,
pass so that I can get her skin.
that's
So, I
also
mean,
one
we
of
saw in
we'll
like
be
one
playing
of her
Path of
skins
Exile.
that she still has like the light side, the dark side. So it's
I
like,
was thinking
is
about
that
getting a
on
Lost
all of
Ark,
her
but I think
skins?
Path of
Because
Exile would just I would have to double down on that
handful of
because of
skins.
so much
My
and
curiosity is
their
piqued. Definitely want to
build
see.
variety in that. Yes, yes, it is. I've played Dungeon Defenders
That was
for
really a sustained conversation.
about 6 years. I left. I left 3 years ago, but I was playing 6 years ago. So I love this game. Really love it. I love the concept of them meshing ARPG with tower defense. It's the first. I think they're the first ones to ever do something like this. So when I was young, it caught my attention immediately, and I had to get my family on it. I'm actually playing with my old man right now. That sounds bad. I'm actually running with my old man right now. So, and the only reason why I left the game is because they were starting to do other projects, and I didn't think that they
And the aura in the trees creating
that they
aggro.
was gonna give any
Like I
love
said,
to Dungeon
again,
Defenders. They just put it
very,
on the back
very
burner.
much.
So I was kind of just on the sidelines, just worrying about if the game was going to keep going or not. But 3 years later, that's it's still going, still strong. They got new stuff. They also fixed some bugs that I was having a problem with. So for right now, I want to say that this game
And I, oh
is still
my
going.
gosh, I died.
But
I
to answer your question, yes,
died.
I do love this game. I do have my pros and cons about it, but just ultimately, I love this game.
Oh my gosh, I died. I died, I died, I died. Oh my gosh, I died. Okay, so yeah, it's
How many hours do I have this
once I get range on the servo, a range turbo, then
game? I think I
I
have
can keep
about
automation
500.
and don't have to
I don't
keep.
I don't play
And
this
then I will
game.
replace Deadly Strike with Vicious Strike because
Um,
the percentage on the top of the
that
percentage does
that
diminish,
often.
whereas
Like I
Vicious
put
Strike
about
will cap
four to
it at the
six hours in
35.
this game.
They they'll yes
Now
no
with other
yes
games I
yes
played, I
yes
put
yes
way
they'll
more
cap it
hours
at the
into other
35.
games. But with this game, I put
Um,
less hours into it, only because of the grind and the repetitiveness of it. That's another thing about this game. You will kind of get tired of just the grind period and the constant trying to compete with the RNG. So that all is why I didn't put much time into it, but I probably have about 500 hours into this game, like over the just expanding over the 6 years I've been playing. Oh yeah, yeah. What you got
yes,
in
it is
mind?
taking more than enough damage to constantly activate the shield.
Yeah, I don't mind you sharing at all.
a stone wolf to a golden knight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you can share absolutely. So what are you sharing in particular? Like, in particular. Yeah, that's not the right word, but that's like.
Trying to get Chaos
Hmm.
11 ready.
Uh, Side note: is my mic okay? Because I did have some complaints about the mic.
That's why I try not to have them too far forward, as you can see the angle of
Creativities.
trajectory still puts it right
Basically, I'm
there.
a professional
Too
artist
far
with 4 to
forward,
5
and
years
they'll be
experience.
able to,
Would love to
like when I was
customize
putting it as it
something
says
for you in a
here,
friendly budget. So would you like to
sometimes
see some
you'll get there
of my
with a
creativities?
bypass. So further that, and then they have that.
Cause I don't mind seeing, but I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm broke. All the stuff you see, my channel and how it's set up.
Don't even
I
know
did that
what the
myself.
daily mission was.
DIY.
I'm typing.
Look here. But like I said, unfortunately, I won't be able. Like I said, even if I see the art, I won't be able to even commission you. So I will have to decline the offer. So yeah, it's beginning days. It's beginning days. I'm not a big streamer like everybody else. So I, I would if I could, but I can't. So just right now, I know I can do this in my spare time. Now with what the economy got, no spiraling. But I appreciate you for understanding.
Excuse me. Thank you. Quick, quick house check. Hmm.
1 second.
Hmm.
Okay, I would like to try something.
Yes. Okay, so cohort wants to try
No,
something.
no, don't keep your stuff up. I just want one side where you don't put your knight down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
What side?
This side, left.
This side?
Yeah,
Okay. The the important side.
the important side.
Okay. So, yeah, this is where all the major stuff happens.
Okay, then give me the middle.
But no no no
What?
no no no
No,
no no no
no,
no
no, no,
no.
no, 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 no. You said the major side. You said the
Yeah,
major
the
side.
boss.
I'm testing something.
Yeah, so you want bosses and bosses. They come from
Yeah,
here.
you're right. You're right. I do want bosses. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this.
Okay, so my cohort is going to take this side and experiment.
Um,
Mm,
shoot. Yeah, just put yourself down like how you usually do, and possibly just only place 2 trees down because I am going to be using more DU than usual. So I'm gonna replace 2 of your trees with 2 of my nodes.
okay,
So
I'll still put them back
yeah, yeah, I
so that they're not. Okay, some
know. And
trees.
because I do want to see the amount of DR that's being put on the blockades. If it's enough to where I could,
Now I don't have my cohort's audio shared because we've been having technical difficulties the uh, with our audio. But once we get that under control, we will be back in the building. I feel like that was too far over. I'm supposed to not care that Slytherin would be in the middle, but I keep finding myself being extra.
oh damn it,
Okay.
I didn't mean to do that at all.
Because I too wanted to play around with something. I think I'll leave the middle the same. Let the middle be what the middle is. Anytime I'm doing like a major experiment, I'll just keep two lanes the same while altering just the one. So I think I'll leave the middle the same.
There we go. Just catching every.
That,
Actually,
do this so that this is still. Make sure I get
no, we should.
that. That goes in.
Okay, cool.
Nope. Be careful. There we go. Then tricky because I still have like these guys who clearly are adding the ring of support over here. But mm, now this part is kind of tricky because if you put them here, then it gives it, but it doesn't give it. So you kind of placing it like right here. I think I got it right. S. Yeah, it's about right-ish. I could turn down out a little, but no, 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 no. Yeah, no, okay. I probably, ooh, that is kind of close because I do believe it's going to interfere. Yep, probably should have did that first. Act, do I go bang? It's kind of tricky, but I probably start about here-ish to here and cross to here and then bring that out to there-ish. And then I can have them on the opposite sides inside this. Looks something. Because I want to make sure that I have enough. Yeah, so it would be bang, bang. Like, hold on, let me look at the other side. Yeah, like right in, bang. That looks pretty even, pretty straight, pretty dang awesome if you ask me, but that's beside the point. Okay, something like that.
No, fine, I figured it out. Okay, already over here.
Then do something like that.
Hey. Touching. Oh, yeah, okay.
You see the fourth wall?
Yeah, I do see the fourth wall.
And then say like that. Are they about? That should be okay, yep, something like that. Oh, wait, okay. And of course, this is supposed to be like this, like this, like this,
That's fast.
and this. This is actually supposed to be two unless the tree. Actually, should I keep the ones in the back? So so that they're not so close to the.
The fact that it's covering with another, but you can
Okay,
put up another reflecting.
I got you.
Because I am done. So
Yeah, I think I'll keep the one that I have. So, sun. So, of course, like I said, because of the other lanes, there's gonna be some help, but you said a reflect beam.
yeah,
The blind gave me light. There are 4 months. Yes. How are you? Because we're doing wonderful.
yeah. I was trying to keep it uh short enough where we,
No, that's right. Did you take something off?
I did.
Don't. No, leave it. That's fire.
No,
It's
no,
a
no.
concoction
No, 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 no.
that you got
You
here.
said blinding. I just wanted to make sure that she was able to place the reflect beam without affecting.
Okay, okay. I like that. Nice. 20th reset. I got you. I am goofballing off with like the guards. Like I love these guys. So uh, I'm gonna get, and then I just started with the trees, which everybody already knows about the trees, so it's not really like that's a big to do thing. But I am attempting to pull off just the. Let's see, that's for the end. But I could, because I do have the other ones in the other lanes, because I literally have 3 tiers. We can play with the concept, because I literally have 3 tiers. I could go further down, but
Uh,
4 trees. I added 4 more to replace the 4 trees missing from there. That's about right. Oh, I did always have a tree because of, and I will put them both on this side to try and minimize, although they are stretching all the way over here, the influence. But 20 resets. Love it. I absolutely love it. Like, I will get to doing my resets again soon. I cannot lie.
um, can you put like
Yes.
my strap down? Like I said, I don't know if
Oh,
it's
how many?
um right now just one.
Because I can take them 2 trees that are sitting there down. I just threw them there cause DU.
Right.
So I can put 3 in here.
That's. I mean, yeah.
All right.
Because I don't, like I said, you spending the same amount of DU. Because I'm spending the same amount of DU. Ish, because I have 40 wall, which altogether that's 70.
Mine is the one that's slightly off from, oh, hold on.
But
That's what that was supposed to be for. Actually, I was going to say be better here, or even right here.
that's
Oh, well then it doesn't even have to. There's a ring. I don't even see it.
I don't see the ring either. But
Blend it in.
when you expect it, you can see the ring. Because when you expect it, when you expect the boost order, you can see it.
Okay. Nope, that was perfect. Put that back there. Okay.
Okay, yeah, already.
And let me see just how it would look on this side. Like I said, I do still have these trees over here causing the anti-heal, so I mean there is still some effect, so so I chose to fight for the side guard, which the side guard doesn't care. But yeah, cohort. Um, Alchemist is over here. I mean, like I said,
No, I see your stream.
Okay. Right, you be split screen. I gotta start split screen my stream. Not supporting properly. Okay. Okay, so they're electing to fight the one on the right, which the one on the right does not care, but it's too far forward perhaps. I have to move him back just a little bit. That's what I'm feeling. Feeling like I thought that they were in the same. No, you can see that he does seem just a little more. I'll move him back a little bit. Oh. Dude, you got people over there. Like how do you.
Yeah, but I know you're talking about these. That look like they got a fire extinguisher on their back.
Yeah, no, yeah, those guys. Fire extinguisher. Yeah, I'll take fire extinguisher. I'll take fire extinguisher. Okay, so they're constantly coming at you. Do I move you? Nice. That's not close enough though. So maybe a little further over. Oh no, now I'm feeling like you're like too standoffish. Yeah, see now I feel like you're too far back. I could bring you up just a little. I mean, hold on. Mm, I suppose we'll see. It's like everybody shouldn't get no. Okay. Oh, you you're literally like, who do I go after? Okay. So it doesn't even matter.
Hmm. I don't know if we can run that. The only reason why they're red is because I took off auto repair. Replaced it with the shield.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. decision. Like he's like, yo, who do I go at? Like you watch him. Like, okay, which one of these guards am I gonna attack? Like he starts off going middle, then he starts to lean towards the right. Then he slides back middle, and then towards the end, he comes starts to lean towards the left.
Shit. Shit. Scan north. Gotta save the clip. Gotta figure out what exactly happened.
You don't have to worry about the other side. Them guards aren't going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, you can put your golden knight back.
Hmm?
You can put your golden knight back. I done with that. That's I've seen what I need to see.
the lane full, one guard, two trees in the back. Right, because I still got the flyers, so I can't remove the trees completely. Because I still have to address that. So, talking about I hope you had a great birthday.
Hmm.
I did. That I did. That's all when we get that one builded.
Oh.
Sometimes it takes a second for that for the flame to get going on my. So like if I hold it, then hit, and then hold, it's pretty fast.
Hmm.
But it's that boom, and then it's like 1 second. Yeah, it's like it's within a second that it activates and starts to pump out the aura and the heat. And so, I believe it here, yes. Increasing this gilded, I want to say it's probably going to go to just a flat 3, but it may go to a 3.5 or higher. Either way, the longer their um, golden effect lasts, the it's that if I can, if it does give me like an extra second, then that's that extra second that I kind of lose in the time it takes for the aura and the unholy flame, the holy aura and the unholy flame to kind of rev up. So that's what gilding this does for me. Of course, this allows it to fire for a much go a further distance. That compounded with this and this gilded. Uh, I honestly can't tell whether or not this is working or not. It's very, 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 very challenging to tell. Um, again, with that whole resets completely after 3 seconds of not attacking, and then it says attacks. Primary, the secondary cause it to work. So if the secondary is because I can't see the difference. So because it increases your armor. So if it increases your armor, I would see it in the uh, damage of these two because they're armor based. But I really don't see it in the damage between the two, which could inherently mean that they're activating it. So that's why I don't see it because it's always on. Maybe, or I could. I'm like I said. I'm currently not seeing it. The testing for it it's not clean, and I gotta work on it. But yeah, I gotta work on that. 50 clusters and 7,000 and 7,500 metal. 7,500 metal or 7,500 metal and 150 clusters to max out the totem and medallion that I need to max out.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of stuff maxed out.
And I am currently at 24. Shards and mods for the Countess Unholy Fire. Um, Anything that bolsters armor. So like, I got a Countess in here somewhere, but I'm not using her, so it's gonna look crazy. But um, on basis, honestly, when it comes to Unholy Fire, you are really just focusing on the armor from your kit. If you can, yeah, you're looking at the armor for your kit. Now, little things that you can do to increase it. Um, there are servos that you can put on your armor. One, I believe is it Chaos 10, Chaos 9, which is a straight armor increase. It's like 3,800 at max. And then there's another one that's armor when attacking, which is 3,300. And so putting that on all four pieces of your armor would bolster the Unholy Fire even more. And then I have to go back over her kit. She's not one of the ones that I use, so I'm not 1,000% sure. She has a shard that increases her armor.
She do. It's called heavy armor. Both the squire and the countess can use it. It
Okay,
gives
there
you
you go.
about
Here's the
65%,
shard.
45% on the shard, and guild is 65.
Okay. My cohort said, and I'm gonna repeat it verbatim after he says it again. It's called
Heavy armor.
heavy armor. Heavy armor is like he said 40 something percent. Regular and then gilded, it's 60 something percent.
Yep.
So,
Is it? Yep.
yeah. So that would be what you would put on it. That's also a possibility. That's one of the more challenging things in this game is trying to figure out what goes towards your secondary and what will go towards your primary and what will and or will not activate sometimes. And so, well, here's the thing. If the armor when attacking doesn't work, then um, that's like bummer. But on the plus side, up until Chaos, what I want to say it's Chaos 10. Up until Chaos 10, that's literally all we had for an armor choice. Now you can actually put flat armor, so if it still doesn't work, that's the downside. Fine, you don't use it. But if it does, great. But then if it doesn't, we do have an alternative now of just having flat armor, which is like I said, 3,800 Um, place that on all four. Another thing, your ring, making sure there's enough there. Like just any source of armor, and including that shard, um, that gives you the bonus armor. So that plus that shard should give you more than enough to start pelting out a decent amount of damage. For me, I know that Unholy Shard is one of those where it's decent, it's not great, but then because of the the Templar, I picked it up because the Templar actually has two. Holy Aura is literally his version of Unholy Fire. And so they're both pumping out the exact same amount of damage. So instead of me having, and then another thing too, because it says 450%. 450% is the damage, but the DPS is 900% because it hits twice per second. So if you look at if you're looking at the numbers and you're like, man, these seem a little higher than what it's expected, it's because DPS wise, per tick, you're going to see this number. But if you're, DPS wise, it's 900%, not 450. Of course, 530 if you have it gilded. But yeah, that would be it. So the it's not called hardcore. I keep wanting to say hardcore because of the shard hardcore. Heavy armor?
Yeah, it's heavy armor.
Heavy armor. So that's what you want to look for. You want to look for heavy armor. Matter of fact, um, I can't shard shop in here. But if you go to the shard shop, heavy armor, and get that, guild that, and that should help out. Because, like I said, gilded 65%, that should shoot her armor rating uh, well into the. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I never really used the countess like that, and then like when the Templar came out, I was like, oh okay, shoot. But no, uh, I'm not saying use the Templar because of this. I'm merely saying that's why I used the Templar, or that's why I picked Unholy Fire back up, because I had put it down before. Um, but again, that's also because I didn't really use the countess like that at the time. No, she actually does have a really strong kit, and I absolutely, um, in I think at one point I kind of at base, without any real mods or anything on them, kind of compared all of them together to see, you know, who or what exactly I liked in terms of the differences between them, before I settled on the Templar. But no, the Countess, I just love her basic attacks and the fact that she sent, that her basic attacks are ranged, even though they're melee. Like that by itself, if she didn't do anything else alone, that was fire. Um, but that, like you said, the call to arms, the uh, flaming shield. Um, heck, I even love the flame track that she throws down. Um, I think that's fire as well. Yeah, she's one of those kind of like the Mystic, which is the person I do use all the time before the Templar, where yeah they have defenses, but they play really well as as a powerhouse attacker in addition to having those defenses. So I think that's what I, think is actually cool about her. She does actually have a number of things to go in with her kit. We started another one, didn't
We did.
we? I was sitting here like, wait, what did we do here? We did start another one.
Hmm. Yeah, overall, the build that I had, or the setup that I had was working. The only problem was it needs a little bit more.
KD, do you use Radiant Heat, the servo? Right. No, 100%. Okay. Yeah, nah. That's another one of like, especially like with her. I also have it on my Templar, but like she's another one. Like with her, I really like that metamorphosis and uh, excuse me, uh, what am I working into his kit? Fearless. It's a Chaos 11, I think. No, no, is it Chaos 10? Chaos 11? Plate armor? Plated armor?
Yeah, it's plated armor.
Plated armor, the damage reduction?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because you gotta, so my concept is plated armor is 10% at max, 4 pieces of plated armor, 40%, metamorphosis, once stacked from taking damage, is 40%, of course, at max rank. So now we got an 80% damage reduction, that on top of Radiant Heat, and I just get to stand here and knuckle up. So that's what I'm working on with my Templar right now. Getting those things together after I get the towers together so that I can get those things together. But my thing was, what can I put on to where I can just really tank damage and just push out heat. And so I came up with that concept of, okay, I'm gonna go metamorphosis. Now we got plated armor, radiant heat. That should give me all the tankiness that I need. Now I was going to go with the armor servo that I was talking to you about, but I will most likely go with the counter servos, which are chaos 10s or
It's
9.
Chaos 9.
Chaos 9. The Chaos 9 counterattack servos, the one for hero damage and the one for ability power. I'll probably have one of each on each set of armor, because that'll give you about 40,000. It's actually 39.9 for the technical people out there, but roughly 40,000 ability and um, hero damage just for being in combat, or just for taking damage in combat, should I say. And I like those better than the win plus 90% health or plus or win buff, because You do have those moments when you're not buff. You do have those moments when you're not above 90% health. I think that those are really great for ranged individuals.
Yeah, I
Not to
don't
say
have
that
to
they do
argue
not
with
work
you.
for melee individuals. I'm not saying they don't work for melee. I'm just saying that I would prefer those types on ranged individuals,
True.
um, because
Somebody
it's
who can
easier
heal.
to maintain. Huh?
Somebody who can heal. Because if the barbarian puts it on, he's just
That
siphoning.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But then I've watched you in combat, sir, with the barbarian, and
I
you
don't
at
got the
times
best stuff
struggle
on.
to maintain
Uh,
select. That's true. You don't. That's true. That's
that's
true.
equipment.
You're not fully tricked out. This is true. This is true. I'm not gonna throw any hater shade. I apologize.
But the concept is still
But
there.
yes, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that I would prefer the counters as opposed to the buff when. Now I mean when buff. Okay, so when buff I prefer, like if I had to choose, I would choose lies. I'm telling a lot of lies. I probably wouldn't choose win buff or 90% health over swap because swap better. I would probably go with swap over those two still. Like those two are still boss. They are taking nothing from them, but I would probably go with swap over those two because as soon as you swap in and swap out characters, it's like those add on to each other. It gives you like what darn near 3 minutes of uptime. Beautiful. So I prefer the swap. I dig it. I dig it. I'm a little lazier, so that's management. Like because the Templar heals a crap ton, but then that's also making sure I'm constantly um, which don't get me wrong, I I push cooldowns so that I can just literally pop this like off cooldown, and then once it's strong enough, yes, I'll be able to. And then, oh, sorry, this literally lasts long enough to where I can actually drop two at a time. You know, this one will go away right around the time I have enough to drop another one. And then once I get some more cooldown, especially when in combat, it gets even lower. But yeah, so yes, but the other ones just they're cool, but also if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, the counterattack is higher than all of the others as well.
Yep, counterattack is.
Because the others are 7,700 and counterattack is 9,900.
Yep.
So as long as I'm in combat and somebody's hitting me, then, but like I said, um, that's a lot of the time. And I'm missing something because I'm not alone. version of this is where I actually have two trees, two or three trees here, two, three trees here, and then just the guard and the lane is, and each lane is just traps all the way down with the uh, sand trap in the middle. So boom, 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 boom. And once I get all of my things online, okay. I didn't know that. Like I said, she's one of those ones where I was like, ooh, she's dope. And then I was like, mystic everything at the time. So I used her, but sparingly. But I always thought like, oh, like she was always a dope addition. Um, Especially since she was supposed to. I always loved the changes. Coming from Dungeon Defenders 1, she was always supposed to be just a counterpart to the Squire, and they decided not to do that in Dungeon Defenders 2, which I thought was crazy dope. But no, the Countess is um, like when uh, like I had to do a little, mod list because I didn't have anything for the Templar to compare. But I had to do like this mod list showdown between the two of them to kind of like, ooh, which way do I really want to go with it? Um, Another reason I settled in on the Templar is because I do run with my cohort wherever their crazy blood is floating around right now, and there they go. And running with my cohort, um, as well as another one of my cohorts, uh, having both of these abilities where they allow for the team healing and damage reduction um, are dope. Now, with him, I wasn't sure whether, well, he always uses the Barbarian, but there was the concept of whether or not he was going to use the Barbarian or the Countess. Um, and then it was going to be like this kind of twin holy fire thing.
You said something about the Countess?
Yeah, but well, the thing is, it depending, right? Because, and that's probably and you're right. The thing that hurts her the most is she has one amazing tower. You can ignore everything else. Dragon's Nest. Clump a bunch of Dragon's Nest together. Put Buff Beam, Boost Aura, um, and a Reflect Beam for bonus damage, and they can pretty much fillet a map. But it's a one trick. Um, she is kind of the opposite side of your uh but she is really the opposite side of the squire, where the squire uh major blockades, uh her better towers, than his. You know, he has better blockades, she has better towers. If you were to put the two together and switch to him for the blockades, use her for whatever towers that you're going to use her for, and then between the two of them, and then of course use her as your, you know, your damage DPS. Uh, I think that the two would float big. Right. And the Elder Dragon is like that niche, nice, but so uh, and that was another thing for me too when it came down to choosing between the two of them. Um, he just had because I'm always like my favorite things in the game. My favorite two things he has them both: traps, blockade. If you got a trap and you got a blockade, you got my attention. Um, if you got one, not the other, then I'll look at you, but probably not for too long. Um, because a lot of times on my like laziest days, especially once I get him strong enough, it's literally like these. The trees are dope, but they're really just anti-heal. Like they're dope, and they do a lot of damage, but they're really just anti-heal because I can actually take and line this entire row with the Midas trap, and then have the guard at the end of the lane, and it will perform pretty much the same feat. I just like the concept of having all the trees here like this. I think it's the trees and the guards. But yeah. So uh, I think that's probably, like you said, her biggest downfall is that it's like, oh, the dragon has fire, and then the elder dragon, situational but still really strong. Um, it was really bad at one point because I had to actually go back to her because the other two were so forgettable. I was like, what are her other two defenses? Now I went back and was like, oh, okay, got you. Yes, and that was, that was my thing. I mean, and that's funny. Like I'm the saddest, funniest part. The Midas trap, yes, everybody acknowledges the Midas trap on the Templar, but the one thing that everybody doesn't see that everyone uses is the divine relic. The only thing that he is weak at, exactly. The only thing that's probably weak, and the reason that they use the PDS from the cyborg is because the anti-air, as strong as the anti-air is, everybody knows that I mean, uh, projectile weapons, non-hit scan, always suffer compared to the rest. So, but yeah, he literally, if you were to call out his weakest, his greatest but weakest tower would be his anti-air cannon. Like it's super dope, super strong, and then at the same time, it's still like I would use something else. Whereas the Midas trap, like you said, and the in the divine relic, those are like best in class. You're like, oh, definitely, I'm using this. Um, And as far as blockades go, I mean, that's the thing. If you're gonna use a blockade, yes, you can. Classically, you're gonna use um, training dummy. Like that's classic. You're classically gonna use the training dummy. And I truly believe that for the first time, you could literally go with the golden knight over the training dummy easy, just because of the shard that he has that pretty much trumps everybody else's healing as a tower. I mean, as a defense in the game. So yeah, like he has three great defenses, and then he's good, and then he's got one down. Where you have the Countess, where it's like she's amazing. She has like 1.5 defenses, and then or because you say two, but it's like this one, like you said, situational, so it's like 1.5, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, oh shoot, I'm here. We're supposed to be engaging here. This is supposed to be uh, watch them work, gameplay. But no, as far as like DPS Countess, I love her. Like she's, like I said, the carpet flame, amazing. The freaking the her rally cry, the healing shield, like just. I think the only thing I probably don't use super often is probably her dash, but even that's good. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's uninterruptible, so she just uh, which I don't know. I'd have to play with that as far as like physics go. I wonder who I could just like knock into a pit. Oh, word. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna definitely have to check it out then. I'm gonna definitely mess around. Uh, because like I said, when I was debating, I think when he came out, um, I was like, okay, Templar. But then I was like, how good is he compared to to like Countess, or like, is he really that, And as far as DPS goes, she's um she's amazing. Oh, pressing the wrong button. Can you kill me? He got me first.
Okay.
That's what's supposed to be. I fly over and I repair. But okay, I'm gonna definitely check out the dash. Just for that reason alone, I'm gonna check out the dash. I also have to look at what she has for shards and such as well, because I never really looked into that. Oh well, now that's stupid, but I like it. Right? No, that's 2,000 damage is ridiculous. Like a level of uncalled for ridiculous that I like. that was my thing when I came back to the game. Um, within this last what month or so, month and a half or so, when I came back to the game, okay, oh, okay. Hmm. I'm gonna definitely take a look at her because, like I said, when I looked at the two, I was like, I like what she does as a DPS, and I was debating on whether or not I would use her as a DPS and use her, but then I was like, she doesn't really have, like I said, outside of the nest and the elder dragon, it was like, but this time around as I was playing, I wanted to use somebody who I could really get into the fray with because I had used the Mystic, and the Mystic is great and great with the crowd control and all that other stuff, and it was dope. But then as I started to get higher up and wanted to do more, uh, yeah, yeah, no, I think he's more of the, he's super strong. Don't get me wrong, he's super strong, but he also plays more as that tank support. So I think that he works well in conjunction with like the Countess, in conjunction with the Barbarian. Um, I think he's good in that regard, where he makes the people around him better in terms of extra sustain, damage reduction, the healings, and so on and so forth. Um, not that she doesn't buff as well, but like I said, I think less that they go against one another, not that we're putting them against each other, but more so that they just complement each other. Exactly. And so when you put the two together, it's like we're just gonna put blockades behind us, and we can fight. Like it would be something like this where you take. Oop, did not mean to fall out the sky. So you take something like this, and you would just guard two lanes, and then this lane right here, you just throw a blockade in the back and literally have fun. It's like you guys aren't going to put any. No, 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 no. We oversaturated these sides so that we knew that they weren't going to go down, and we're just going to stand right here and beat this lane to dog. Be like, it's like, oh, okay. So, um, that's what I think that they're best at. So I do think that they complement each other super well, and that's why I was saying my cohort uses the barbarian as opposed to countess, but either way, if he had whichever way he had gone, they would still obliterate lanes. Right, exactly, exactly. Like that was the concept. That's exactly what I was going for when I was like, you know what? I love my mystic, but I want to do this. I want to do it a little different, a little different. So I was like, okay, metamorphosis. Like I said, plate armor, metamorphosis. 80% damage reduction. He already has a shard that gives him 21% damage reduction. Ungilded, I think it's gilded is like 28 or so percent. Um, he's got a shard that increases his armor when he's using one of his abilities, um, and some more stuff. So, ultimately, yeah, that was the thing. And then because I saw Holy Aura and was like, oh shoot, Holy Aura and Unholy Fire are literally the same thing. Let me put them both on. So between the two of them, you're talking about 1800 DPS, gilded, 2000 DPS. Right. You know what though? Because there are so many different ways to play the game. This is true. We stand. We going back.
We're going back.
Because there are so many ways to play the game. This is true. A lot of people do elect to just put the defenses down and sit back. But similar like you said, I was like, there is still that RPG DPS, side of things where your characters are extremely viable at being able to take a lane. Why not give them a lane? So, uh, that's what we currently do. But yeah, so it's, uh, but yeah, normally, it's Templar and then he'll be the Barbarian. Right. Like, clearly, what I was doing, there was no reason to be a part of any of that. But it's also cool, like I said, to oversaturate two sides, put a simple blockade down behind me, and then literally just hold the flamethrower button. Um, it's a rarity that I'll pop the shield and then throw the button, or I think my least used ability is probably my smite, and it's good. It's just my least used ability in comparison to just being able to, and then flamethrower, and then as soon as that runs out, like literally, and then right back to flamethrowing or slam, and then right back to flamethrower, and just hold the lane. Just hold the lane. Absolutely right. No, 100%. It's like in the midst of things, that's the only one where I go, oh yeah, oh yeah, no. And then of course, because I'm freezing the lane, so golded enemies, and then right back to the flames. Like literally, it's like gold flames, and then these are like almost back to back, and it's so easy, especially with the golded enemies taking so much extra damage. So, and then it lasts for like 6 seconds, 5, 6 seconds ungilded. So, um, and then has exceptional range because I literally will be down the block and will take out a lane. The funniest thing is I thought it was short at first because I didn't realize that I'm looking at the ground. And so it was like, oh, it's not very far. And then one day, not paying attention, I'm looking up, and it goes like halfway down the block, and I'm like, oh crap! My stupid self is looking down, not even paying attention. Mm, absolutely, absolutely. I like that. See, I was thinking that. Right, yeah. I was like, matter of fact, you're 1,000% correct. I did the same thing. I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, you know. And then I happened to look up, or I can't even remember what it was that I was doing, and I hit it, and it went, and I was like, oh, I've been messing up this whole time. I was like, oh, and then after that, I was like, okay, nah, this is perfect. But yeah, no, her whole kit, as far as DPS goes, I think she's freaking amazing. Um, and so I definitely feel like she's the offensive side. He's got a crap ton of damage, but like I said, the way his kit is built around healing, damage reduction, and protection, and all that other stuff, he's definitely the tank support, and she's definitely that DPS tank. Or he would be, how would you say it, the frontline tank and the off tank. Exactly. I laughed so hard when I was like, I mean, this is nice. And then, like you said, hit it in an open area, and it was like, oh, the level I've been doing. Also, I didn't, I didn't mean to do that. Another thing that I didn't know that I learned, and mind you, I have a much stronger axe than this. The only reason I keep using this axe is because of the piercer chip. Without that piercer chip, bless you, sir. Without that piercer chip, this will hit a freaking bubble, bounce back, and freeze my stupid behind. So I was like, oh nah, that's no good. That's no good at all. I can't. I literally froze myself for a period of 7 seconds and was mad as all holy heck. I was like, because I'm gonna have to just stand here and watch them walk past me. So no, that piercer servo, it means everything. Like as soon as I get, um, where's my? I think it's over here. I think I got it in here somewhere. Yeah, as soon as I get that hammer leveled and blah 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 yada yada yada, um, I am 1,000% putting the piercer servo. Yeah, because this one is definitely stronger. And I was like, I'm gonna move the chip over when I remember. But for right now, prior to moving the chip over, I, yeah, no, it's invaluable. Right. Yeah, nah, it's, I was like, it's just not fun. So I was like, okay. I literally just froze myself. But once I realized that, oh shoot, this allows it to pass through, I was like, oh, that's nope. Pure servo, definite. So that's the three. It's Uh, Metamorphosis. I'm going Metamorphosis, Radiant Heat, and then Piercer Chip. On the weapon, um, I'm going Counter Hero, Counter AP, and Plate Armor on all of the armor pieces, and then yeah, yeah, that's pretty much how I'm gonna have it set up. So where is crazy person running around now?
Mm.
He's just always floating for absolutely no given reason.
I mean, yeah.
Like, bro, got the cyborg, just doesn't even walk anymore.
Yeah, I can't walk no. Well, I can't walk, but he got a shard where he gets increased movement in the air. So
Oh, right, there is that whole when you're in the air increase shard.
some always in the air.
There is that. I forgot.
So I just start walking. Just like,
Oh, so how did we do? How did we do? Um, 26. 26 of 150. 124 to go. But we're on point for our moats. The moats are good. We're cool with the moats. We just
all
gotta
right,
get
viewers.
warriors. The shield guys, which shield guys? Because there's two technical, technically there's two shield
Alright,
guys.
I'm about to
Two
end this
shield guys,
stream
right?
here. Thank
The
y'all for tuning in
original, the
and
ones
listening
that
to me
come out
rant
of
and
the
watch my
early
gameplay.
chaoses.
I hope to see y'all again next time. And always,
Yeah,
next time.
those guys. Um,
And thank you for tuning in.
no, actually, the I mean they're the easiest way to take